Welcome back, and we're going to do the Gauntlet of Shar in this episode. So let's head down straight north from the waypoint, and you're going to see these little yellow dots of rats kind of all through here.
Nothing of value comes easy. Overcome my trials and win my embrace.
So we'll run in. The soft step trial is about being undetected, and we'll have Alfira click the sacrificial bowl, but Shadowheart will actually do the sacrifice. She'll ask us to let her do it, and we'll get approval when we allow her to.
The bowl contains an ancient rust-colored bloodstain. It forms a neat disc, as if spilled calmly and willingly.
This is one of Lady Shar's trials. Allow me. It's important.
And we will let her, so we'll take option 1. We'll let the bleeding expire here. Okay, so now we're done with that. We'll select Shadowheart and break the party apart. We're going to come over to the right side, and we're going to see what we've got for invisibility options. We've got a scroll of invisibility. That's harder to use in the potions, so because it takes an action instead of a bonus action. So we'll cast invisibility on Shadowheart, and then we're just going to run straight ahead. And these little shadows that are running around, we can just ignore them. It will sign. There's a button on the wall right here, which we will click. It doesn't break invisibility, and that causes the wall to come down, so we can just run straight past it to the end of the maze. And when we get to the gate, it's locked. We'll go ahead and just lockpick it. We're not particularly good at lockpicking, and it doesn't actually matter. So the difficulty is just a 10, so we're like 50-50 to make it. And we've got 50 sets of lockpicks on us, so we're definitely going to be able to do that. We'll walk in and grab this umbral gem. That lights up all the torches, and we'll hit the umbral transporter that takes us back to the beginning of the maze. And it says that we're the first sign that we're worthy, and our mysterious Sharan wound activates. So we'll select our character again and walk out. So that's trial number 1. And these are all going to be super, super fast. So if you have a plan when you go in and you know what you're doing, they're all very, very easy. So the second trial is a combat trial where you fight your mirror self. We're going to do that with just Shadowheart, so we'll just have Shadowheart come in here and click the sacrificial bowl.
Another bowl bearing the stains of an ancient blood offering.
Right, and so the rest of our party is still standing out in the hallway. It's going to mirror just the folks that are in this room.
Trials that her initiates must face. This one would challenge their combat prowess.
We'll offer our blood in Shar's name. And we've got temporary hit points from casting spells, so we're not actually taking damage from these. And again, we're going to wait until the bleeding is stopped. We'll cast guidance. There's a perception check to locate the mirror self because they're going to try to ambush us. We're going to crouch as well, and we'll head inside. And we'll just go up the right side. And our opponent is up here by this brazier. So we'll see if we can make the perception check to see them. And we failed. That's all right. It won't impact the gameplay here. So the strategy always works. You don't need to be able to see them. So our opponent is standing right here, and always will be. So we can walk right up behind them. And they're similar to us, but they're not actually us. They're shadow entities, and they are vulnerable to radiant damage. So what we've got is a whole bunch of the ability to do a ton of radiant damage, and we're going to cast a level 4 version of Spirit Guardians with the radiant option. So that's going to do double the radiant damage. So we're just going to go ahead and click cast. And we basically do 76 points of damage in like a second. We'll go ahead and stop concentrating on this so that when we move around, we're not going to kill any of the rats. We'll pick up from the ground Killer Sweetheart, which is a ring that they drop, and the Umbral Gem, and then we'll hit the transporter. And that's the end of that trial, and we'll come out. And we'll group up again and select Alfira. And again, the reason we're doing that is just so that when we click on the sacrificial bowl, that Shadowheart can ask to do it instead. And when we say yes, she likes that. We see more rats sitting around. We're going to deal with those in a little while. So we come to the third trial. And this is one of those sort of leap of faith trials where there's an invisible walkway. The actual map is right here in the room. So it's right in front of the statue. It shows the actual room layout.
Another bowl bearing the stains of an ancient blood offering.
Another trial. Allow me, please.
We'll say yep. And that starts the trial. And we're not going to try to navigate the invisible walkway. You can kind of see it here, but it's pretty annoying. So we're going to take off the ring that we have that does additional radiant damage. And we're going to do that because we're going to be fighting some dark justiciars in a little bit that have an ability to do damage back to us when we do radiant damage. And then we're going to open up the shared inventory again, and we're going to look for what we've got in the way of flying. So we'll take a scroll of flight, and we'll cast that on Shadowheart. And this gives us an additional ability over here on the right called Fly. We'll click on it. And because we can see right through these shadows, we can land wherever we want because we are immune to blindness. Oops, I forgot to equip that. We did pick up the Eversight ring, which makes us immune to blindness. So my bad on that. Make sure you do that before you start, because you could lose some rounds of flight and have to use a secondary scroll, I guess. So we'll fly to the second statue, and to the third. And that's it. We'll grab the gem, and hit the flux. Right, and that's it. So we've completed the 3 major trials. Now we need to head deeper into the library and pick up the Spear of the Night. So that's this room right here. There's several ways of going about doing this. What we need to do is get into this bookshelf right here and pick up a book. Get through this blocked door, put the book on this pedestal. That's going to open up this section of wall, and then we'll go into the treasury. But it is guarded by some of these dark justiciars. They're pretty irritating to fight. So this is a good place to save your game. They have a habit of running around. They can teleport. The room itself is silenced, so you can't cast spells in it. Let me see here. We'll go ahead and put everybody into crouch mode, break the party apart. And we'll have Alfira sneak in. And you see they're just kind of wandering around. If we take a look, we'll see that we can do ranged attacks on the librarian. That's the thing that's causing there to be silence in the room. So we'll go ahead and do that. And the silence aura is gone, so now we can cast spells in here again. So now we need to figure out how we're going to engage these guys. And we can take a look and con them really quick. So we'll enter turn-based mode and examine them. So they're undead, but they have this radiant retort ability, which means that when they take radiant damage, they reflect it back twice as much. This is problematic if we're going to do radiant damage, and Shadowheart's kind of equipped to do radiant damage. So danger is to have her participate too much in this fight. They can't be blinded, so they will hide inside of darkness, and when they die, they tend to leave darkness. Right? They get resistance to all damage when they are in darkness, and they have sunlight sensitivity.
Stay idle.
Let's see if we can cast daylight. So daylight produces a huge area where there's tons of light. So we'll see if the temple allows us to do that, and it does. So that's going to remove one of their major abilities.
I've got a long road ahead.
We'll exit turn-based mode, and we're just going to go ahead and step back. Now, for this combat, I'd like to have my Bardic Inspiration back and Action Surge back, so we're going to use the Bard's Song of Rest. Those recharge on a short rest. So now we've got 5 double shots, and Lazelle's got the ability to do an Action Surge again. So now that we've rested, we'll go down and take a look. A good way to start off a combat like this is with a double slashing flourish. If we can get a target here. And this room seems to be really messing with my ability to move the map around. So we'll try and crawl over here. I'll go into turn-based mode. And slashing flourish. And we got rid of one. And we'll try it again. If we can target a second one. Looks like they're too far away. I'll just go ahead and back up. And we see them rushing over. And we'll go back into turn-based mode. Slashing flourish again. This guy is outside of normal range, so we're going to see if we can get a little closer. Oh, and there we go, we're seen. Alright, so combat started. Slashing flourish. And done. We've got another one. They're all a little too far back for us. We'll just go ahead and bring our character back. Not too far because we want to keep them in the light. All right, and this is a good time to bring in the rest of our forces. So let's make a real entrance here. So we'll back Lizelle out. She's not in combat. We're going to cast Featherfall. We'll cast Enhanced Sleep. crouch again.
Light steps.
And we're going to jump. And we'll jump way, way down into the room. So that we've got a target that we can really work with. And Lozelle is the toughest member of our party. We'll reselect Alfira,
The coast. Wide on my feet.
close a little bit on them, and see if we can't do another slashing flourish. We missed one of those. And we'll see if we can't get the second one. And we've got one more attack. And, oh, so close. Almost got it. And we'll take a look and see what we can see with Shadowheart.
Need to press onward.
And remember, we don't want to do radiant damage here, but we can do something else. We've got bows that we're not proficient with. It looks like we've got least expected here that we can use. So Shadowheart is an elf. We'll take a shot. And miss. Alright, so going back to Alfira again. We're out of actions. But we're going to run into the sunlight here,
One day I'll catch a break.
because these opponents are sensitive to sunlight, so they're going to be worse when they're trying to attack us in bright light. And we'll go ahead and use Hellish Rebuke. This is the Tiefling ability. It hardly ever comes up for us. So if you're playing a non-Tiefling, you may not have that. The fights will always be a little random anyway. Alright, so we'll start off with Lozelle. And the first thing that we want to do is try to get an opponent away from Alfira. And we're seeing that path is interrupted. Path is interrupted. There we go. So we've got a hit on him.
Interest.
And we'll do that again. And we have our offhand attack, which maybe can do some damage. So we'll give it a shot.
My name be known.
And shift back to our regular weapon.
Blood comes easy these days.
We don't like to try to shoot when people are right next to us. We're very good at athletics. So we're going to try to shove. I don't think we actually have the ability to throw. These guys must be pretty light. So we'll throw him next to his friend. Come down past the little darkness area here where we're getting blinded. We'll try slashing flourish again. And we're getting path interrupted. Kind of everywhere. Do we have enough room to get to where we can shoot him? Maybe. We have a jump, and that's going to have to do. So we'll jump over. Slashing flourish. And I'm not at all certain what's going on here. He seems to be not targetable somehow. Is there? There must be darkness where this body is. That's probably what's going on. So we'll go ahead and end the round.
Can't give up. On I go.
And we'll have Shadowheart run in. This guy's going to waste his ranged shots on Lizelle. We'll step back. Whiff once. Hit. And offhand attack. And that's it. So that's it for the bad guys here, and let's take a look. So our goal is to get our book from this bookshelf. There, it is trapped, but it's not trapped in a very meaningful way. So we'll just break the group apart. We can click on it. We'll try to disarm it, and we succeeded. If you don't, you might take a little acid damage. It doesn't do very much. And what we're looking for here is the Teachings of Loss, the Night Singer.
I need to keep sharp.
If we read it, it says, what can silence the night song? Only the Night Singer. So we'll grab that book. And grab our party and come back down here to the Iron Portcullis. We'll lockpick it.
Crack that open.
And we've been casting a lot of spells with Shadowheart, so she's not maintaining anything. We'll give some guidance. And I got it on the first one. Burn as many lockpicks as you need to get through that. It's, you know, we've got so many at this point in time, it doesn't really matter. Lowering the gate, we come up to this pedestal. We'll click on it
Silence the night song.
and add the teachings. That causes the secret door to open.
Best avoid that trap.
And we'll check the bookshelves to see if they've got anything interesting. They've got scrolls and stuff sometimes. And we'll come into our secret room. We'll select Shadowheart and grab the Dark Justiciar half plate, the Spear of the Night, which is the quest item that we're going to need. And there's a chest behind here where we can get the Dark Justiciar helmet. All right, so that's the main quests here for the Sharan part of the temple, and we're going to head back up through the Silent Library. And there's an overhang right here, and we're going to climb down that. It takes us to this area where there's a whole bunch of skulls and stuff, and we see down there the bottom of the statue's feet. We're going to come over to this rock, jump on it, and then this one, and then climb up here this cragged rock. There's a room over here with a couple of chests in it. There's also a room over here. If we open this door, there's a broken Mirror of Loss that doesn't work anymore, and some more stuff. Again, we don't need stuff. We got a lot of money, and I don't really need alchemical components or anything like that. All right, so we're going to come up to this ledge, and in here we're going to find the monster that Raphael was talking about earlier. So we're going to select our main character and just yeah, we're getting the autosave so we know something's up. We're going to walk right through the door,
So much blood.
and we might get, yeah, so we might or might not see the Orthon, but we're just going to walk right up.
What's this? Fresh entertainment. But you're too fresh for this place, aren't you? There's a whiff of the surface to you. A new arrival, then. You burrow too deep, little rabbit.
And we'll take the Bard option, so we'll make a rabbit joke.
I don't talk to prey. There's something else, almost hidden by your fear stink. Cherries. Musk. And sulfur. Raphael, smell him all over you. Where is he?
We're going to say, you know Raphael?
That perfume trickster swindled me. Trapped me.
We'll tell him that he wants him dead.
Where is he? Spit it out. Now!
Tell him or don't. It doesn't matter, so long as you grant me the killing blow.
We'll ask to share our experiences.
Bargaining, are you? A Karator warlord once tried the same. I made him watch as I ate his concubines in young, then fashioned a codpiece from his skull. You can't help. It's not just walls that keep me here. Not the traps, the dark, or the creatures it hides. Something stronger holds me. A contract. Either I fulfill the contract, die trying, or forfeit my freedom. If I leave this place now, I'll become Raphael's slave.
And we'll take the Bard option. There are always loopholes.
Raphael is no foolish story devil. His mind is different, sneaky. Listen. Spill all the blood sworn to the night. Silence all prayers. Smother each right. Wander Shar's halls, hungry to slay. Leave no justice here, alive to obey. Leave none to hear it, then be set free. This song is your oath. Swear it to me. Ah!
Well, that explains where all the Dark Justiciars went. This song differs from others you've studied. The final couplet contains a trick, a clause not easily fulfilled.
That's it.
So, most characters have a perception check to notice that there's a break. Bards and Warlocks are always given that option, so we're going to take the Bard option. We do realize here that Raphael is kind of a Disney villain, so he sings his contract.
I don't want to make it pretty. I want to silence it. Anyway, enough prattle. The lyrics are clear. All who hear the song must die. Time to die.
And we'll take the Bard persuasion option. So we'll say that he's a sly lyricist and he tricked you. And this is where we're going to have to try to convince him. So we've got the Bard option, so we already have advantage. So we'll just get guidance from Shadowheart. And we crit succeed there.
The Meridons. They barely have a thought to share among themselves. But they do have ears. Kill yourselves. Back to the hells with you. I still hear it. Seems your theory is wrong.
We're not done yet because the Displacer Beast heard it. And we can go ahead and use Friends on Ygir. We don't plan on him being around for very long. This is worth using Inspiration on if you fail to check.
Kill Nessa. Stay very still. My beauty. I still hear it.
And then we'll take the Bard option, saying he's got to kill himself. And same deal, we'll use Friends. And easily make it.
If you're wrong about this. I'll claw my way out of the furnace and eat you alive. Contract be damned. Nicely played, Raphael. Bastard.
That silver tongue of yours is dangerous. Bravo. Can't believe you actually pulled that off.
And after this, we'll get any inspiration that we were using back, basically. So we will take Shadowheart here and grab the Umbral Gem.
That's the last one.
We'll grab our main character and come back over here to near where we walked in and grab these dark Justiciar gauntlets. We'll run into this other room, and there's a pair of boots that help restore bardic inspiration in this heavy chest. It's not even locked. And then we'll loot the Orthon and his minions. So we'll come up here. So clicking on your gear, we're going to get some more infernal metal if we needed it, and a +2 hand crossbow, so that's an upgrade for us. And then one of the Marigons is called Hoarding Marigon. The rest of them are all just regular Marigons. The Hoarding Marigon is going to have some extra stuff. It's like a merchant if you let it live. So we'll grab the 2 scrolls and the toxin. All the Marigons have these halberds. If you're desperate for money, you could sell them. So we'll break the party apart and just grab Shadowheart, and we're going to head to the Gauntlet of Shar waypoint. So now that we've got all of the gems, we can make all of the elevator stuff work. So we're going to come up here to where the main entrance would have been. This is, directly opposite of where our first puzzle room that we came in was. And you can see the statue. We'll click on the altar and add a gem.
The very air around you seems to quiver and cool, as if disturbed by some presence. An invisible, formless, welcoming presence.
Child.
Lady Shar. Is that you?
Indeed. Welcome. It has been a long road to bring you back to me. But there is more I need of you. Listen closely. Like the dark justiciars of old, you must journey to my innermost sanctum and make a sacrifice in my name. You will become my voice made flesh, to command all who bow to me. Already you have the Spear of Night. Wield it to make the sacrifice. You are ready. You were born for this. Now forth. Make me proud.
I won't fail you, my lady.
So we got a special moment here between Shadowheart and her goddess. And we'll come over to the traversal gem and click it.
That disc has started moving.
And again, these elevators are super dangerous. They can just have you plummet to your death on occasion. It's pretty glitchy. You can, if you wanted to, you could just walk in here, fly down to this platform, knock on the door, and open it right up. So you don't need to do any of the Shar trials if you don't want to. I think they're fun. So we'll click on this ancient altar and plug in the Umbral Gems. and open up the way inside. So we'll run down here and we're going to grab the waypoint, but we're not going to go into the pool yet. We haven't even been to Moonrise Towers, so we'll do that long before we are going to go down to the pool. That's going to advance the plot really dramatically. So we basically just want to make sure that we grab this waypoint. And now that we've got the Verge of Shadows, we'll travel back to the Gauntlet of Shar. And we'll click on Alfira, regroup, and also travel to the Gauntlet of Shar. So we've got one last thing to do here. Again, relatively straightforward. So we're going to go back down to basically where the first trial was. And there's an overhang here. And I forgot to grab Shadowheart, so let's see if we can get her to come with. Alright, so that's everybody. We'll cast Featherfall. And we're going to jump down to the platform between the skull piles here. My apologies if you got some sort of fear of heights. I know that can be a little upsetting to see somebody make that jump. And we're going to go and break the party apart. And at this point in time, we don't need the blindness ring anymore. We do need the callous glow ring. And if we want, we can try and increase, we could like put the cloak of protection on. I think we'll be fine. This is a great place to save your game if you haven't done that lately. And we'll take Shadowheart, just Shadowheart, and we're going to walk down to the feet of the statue. And we're going to find this little ritual area. So we'll click on the book, One Becomes Many, and we see that it's a note from Raphael. And then we're going to click on all the candles, click on the broken effigy. Don't know what it does. We're going to wait a little bit, and we're going to get a rat that's going to come try to talk to us. Right.
Stares at you. It almost seems like it wants your attention.
So it came up to Alfira. We're just going to click attack. We go super fast, and Shadowheart's so far away that she's not even in the combat, but it doesn't make any difference. So we're going to right-click, click throw, and we'll just fling the rat over here. And that's going to start a great big combat for Shadowheart. And while we're up here, we'll take Alfira and Lizelle and we'll crouch, just so that they're not in combat. Now we've got Shadowheart and a bunch of rats, and there's going to be more and more rats that are going to be coming in. So what we're going to do is we're going to upcast, again, a level 4 spell, Spirit Guardians. We're going to click Radiant. And we're just going to walk through. Now, some of the rats have a sleep aura thing that they do. They cause an explosion that does sleep. Because Shadowheart's a half-elf, she's completely immune to sleep. So we'll just go ahead and end our turn, and we're just going to get wave after wave of rats that run at us.
Fine. They can keep coming and I'll just keep on killing.
All right, so that was the wave of rats, and we can do this drinking. There's an achievement for killing rats drinking. It's easier to get done in Act 3.
These hands. Too big. Where are the others? Where's the rest of me? You! Why did you have to keep prying? Why couldn't you just leave?
We'll take the Shar option.
My side is dead. Just piles of old bones lying in the dark. You're nothing to me.
And we'll take the Shar option again.
Such ignorance is unworthy of the Night Singer's followers. Her church will be stronger once you are dead.
Right. So here we've got this guy, Lyrthendor. And we'll take a look at him. He's got freedom of movement. He's under the effect of Spirit Guardians because we're there, and he's got a bunch of turns of Radiating Orb. He's got legendary resistance, so he's going to be hard to land a control spell on. He can't be blinded, and he's got dark vision. Otherwise, he's just got a bunch of hit points, and he's a spellcaster, so he will try to attack us. We're going to take Lizelle and bring her up to the ledge here, and we're going to enter this combat by casting Hunter's Mark. This will allow us to do a little more damage when we throw. And we'll grab our bound lightning jabber and toss it, doing a crazy amount of damage. And you can see because we're concentrating on Hunter's Mark, we got a little psychic on that. We'll hit him again. And then we're going to back up so that he can't get to us easily. And we'll take Alfira and back her up as well. And we could jump up here to try to get out of the way. I don't think it'll make really any difference. He's already taken damage from Spirit Guardians this round, so what we're going to do is we're going to cast Sanctuary so that we're not targetable by him, and he's going to have to try to go after Lizelle.
Time to strike.
So he's going to dash and run and run and run. And it looks like he still didn't even reveal Alfira, who is just succeeding on some hide checks. So the armor she's wearing doesn't interfere with that. We will go ahead and click on Slashing Flourish. And enter the combat. And we did really well on that hit. He's basically already dead. So rather than throwing our jabber where we might kill him with crushing damage, we'll go ahead and just shoot him. And that's it. So we'll get our group back together again and loot this guy. He's got a scimitar that if we attack with advantage, it can maybe blind the person we're attacking. And he's got a shield that has a darkness cloak action and a retaliatory strike. So that's everything there is here to do in the Gauntlet of Shar. So we'll shoot back to camp. My apologies for the length of this video. It's a little longer than usual ones, but I didn't want to break up the Gauntlet of Shar. It all kind of flows together. And I'll catch you in the next one where we have not visited Moonrise Towers, so it's about time we head there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.